Red Corner Boxing. We're in the game.
Yes, guys. Good evening. Welcome to Red Corner Boxing. You were jamming Mr. Neutral as always, and we're here for the Night of the Champions preview. We're going to be covering the 4 main card fights, starting with Benavidez. But just before we get into it, we are proudly sponsored by Easy Storage, your place to go for all your storage needs, and our apparel supplier, the Boxing Fight Zone. Check them out at your leisure. This is the card we are covering, Saturday night in Riyadh, Night of Champions. It's going to be absolutely fire. I, for one, can't wait, Mr. Neutral. How about you, sir?
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic card. You know, some are calling it the card of, well, the best card that Turkey's ever put on. I don't know about that. We'll see how it goes. But all the fights on there, they look like crackers. You know, Sam Noakes, Abdullah Mason, to David Benavidez and Anthony Yarde, Brian Norman, Devin Haney. I mean, it's a great card. You know, it should live up to his name and the money that's been spent on it. Looking forward to it, mate. Looking forward to it. Good evening, everybody who's joined us.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Thank you for tuning in, guys. We're going to start with the main event with David Mexican Monster, if you like to call him that, Benavidez, versus Anthony Yarde. So this is for the WBC light heavyweight title, 175 pounds, of course. We've got David Benavidez, who's 30-0-0, so unbeaten, 24 big knockouts. Although he's not got any knockouts at light heavy. That could be a factor. We've got Anthony Yarde, 27-3-0 with 24 knockouts. It sounds on paper a great fight, Mr. Neutral. Do you want to start on this one, or do you want me to, mate?
Yeah, let's get the controversy out of the way first. David Benavidez is getting knocked out. I don't care what anybody says. Come at me in the comments on X. I'm telling you now, he's getting knocked out. Because he got knocked down twice by David Morrell, who was a super middleweight, who moved up with him, right? He got knocked down. Anthony Yarde punches twice hard as David Morrell. In his dreams, David Benavidez is surviving an onslaught of Anthony Yarde's, pedigree. Absolute power puncher at 175. David Benavidez is unproven. I don't care that he's fought Gvozdyk. I don't care he's fought Morrell. He got emailed a belt he didn't deserve, and now he's this minus 900 favourite. He's fought nobody at 175 pounds. See, resumes to me don't mean jack shit when you move into another division, and we'll talk about that in the Haney fight as well. They don't mean nothing until you're up there fighting a live dog. Anthony Yarde, knockout.
That's nice and quick and to the point, mate. Very ferocious comments there from Mr. Neutral. I like it. I've gone a little bit of a different way on this one. For like the longest time, I was thinking Benavidez by stoppage, to be honest with you. I was thinking Benavidez might get to him late because Yarde does have that tendency to gas a little bit. But look who he gassed against, though. Kovalev, like a decent Kovalev at the time. And then Beterbiev. And obviously he had that one split decision loss to Lyndon Arthur. So it's not like he's nobody's fool, you know what I mean? He's going to be in there. And if he does land one of them shots, I see your point completely. He could slay David, but he's not been hit like that. It'll be like a Mack truck hitting him because he has not felt power at that sort of level. But whether he can land it or not, whether the crowd's going to be on his side, although it's in Saudi, I suppose there's not going to be much of a crowd. But I've gone for a different one. I've gone David Benavidez, UD. I think he'll fiddle his way, but I think he'll probably get knocked down once or even twice in the fight. But I think he'll go on to get the decision because he's going to be the protected man in there. You know, he's got the money going forward. So I think there might be a bit of controversy about this result, but I think Benavidez will get that decision.
Fair
We'll
enough.
have to see. But it's a good fight, though, mate. It's a good fight.
Cracking fight.
Off.
Great main event.
Yeah. Like you already said, he's only 2 fights up at 175 with Morrell and Gvozdyk. His best wins, I'd say, probably were Boo Boo, Andrade, Caleb Plant and Anthony Durrell. They're good wins, you know. Whereas people are saying,
ask yourself,
thin.
But just ask yourself, how many of them would survive an Anthony Yarde? Not one of them.
Oh, they'd get cleansed. They would get cleansed.
They would
Absolutely
get cleansed.
They really would. Yeah, and Yarde's best wins were obviously Lyndon Arthur twice, once by knockout, once by UD. Ralph Vilkans, who's not being disrespectful, is no great shakes, you know what I mean? But means nothing. He's been in there with the likes of Beterbiev and Kovalev. Has he learned from that? Has he grown? Has he realised what not to do? He could come in a very dangerous guy in this fight.
Yeah,
So
Anthony Yarde's got Well, Anthony Yarde's got what? 24 knockouts at 175 pound. Benavidez hasn't got one.
That tells you a story in itself, to be honest, doesn't it? Hawkins Ringside Live's gone for David Benavidez TKO. What round did he say? He's gone for round 8. Thank you, Hawkins, mate. I was going to go for round 10, but I changed my mind on prediction day. On prediction day, I changed it up and I went for the UD. So we'll see whether that was a smart move or bad move by me, but we'll see. Anything else you want to add to that fight, Neutral, before we jump into the second fight of the night?
No,
Right then,
that's good. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's keep it swift, mate. That's what we do here on Red Corner Boxing. Try and keep it as short-winded as possible while giving our points. Next up, we've got the fight of the night, in my opinion, and most people's opinions. We've got the WBO welterweight champion Brian Norman Jr. defending against Devin Haney, the Dream, who's moving up, who looks in tremendous shape. What's your thoughts on this one, Neutral? I know you've got a big opinion on this fight. Everybody knows you've got a big opinion on this fight. Let's have it, brother.
Yeah, as you all saw on my prediction in Prediction League, we did a shot of it. We threw it out there. I said Brian Norman's going to knock out Devin Haney in 3 rounds. I still stand by that. And I go back to this thing. All I hear is, who is Brian Norman fought? Who is there? I don't give a monkey's ass who he's fought. The thing is, ask the people, how many welterweights has Devin Haney knocked out?
0.
Not one.
Yep.
Brian Norman Jr. has got 22 knockouts at welterweight. Coming up from lightweight to welterweight and bringing up your resume and throwing in names, I fought a Lomachenko, or fought 9 champions. That means nothing at welterweight, because the top 10 at welterweight would knock out Lomachenko, would knock out George Kambosos, would knock out Ramirez, would knock out every single one of Haney's opponents that's ever fought him. So when people bring up this, he's a bit more experienced, but means nothing at welterweight. You're going up 2 divisions from your normal weight. You fought, 2 fights at 140 pounds, then 2 fights at 143. He's inched his way up. Come on. That's not, nah. And the press conference tonight, Haney's off the ball. The Normans are right on it. Haney's not got the skill to outpoint this man for 12 rounds. He ran against Ramirez. Ramirez is not a guy who's 23-year-old who can cut the corner off in a microsecond. No, it's not going to work this time. And the power that boy's going to unload on Devin Haney is going to be unmerciful. Mark my words, bookmark it, put money on it. Maybe not round 3, but the knockout.
Yeah, I like it, mate. I like it. I'm going the same method, the same way as well, but I'm going TKO round 7, and I'm going to the body. I think he's just going to target the body from the start. Haney's a very skillful boxer and could easily start this fight by outboxing Norman, but I think Norman, once he gets his bearings, I think that's when he's going to start letting hands go, and Haney ain't felt power like it. You look at his best wins, you got Regis Prograis, Loma, Kambosos twice, Linares, Yuriorkis Gamboa. Yeah, they're great wins, but at much lighter weight, and none of them pop. None of them have got a pop like Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr., you've seen the knockout, the highlight reels, especially the way he's conducted himself during this build-up has made me even more certain that he's going to pull this off. He's confident,
it's the technique, the mannerisms, the sheer brutality that he puts into his punches. Devin Haney can only dream of punching like that.
That's it, mate. The sharpness itself, I think, will do the damage. I really do. If we're wrong, we're wrong. You know, we've all been wrong in boxing, mate.
Yeah,
it's a
for wrong, I'll eat my words. I'll be
That's
out there saying Devin Haney's, get him in the pound for pound top 10. That'll be my shout, but it's never going to happen.
No, definitely not. But I think Norman's got this, mate. I really do. I really do. You've seen what he done to Sasaki, Sansalan. He's a very good boxer as well. People are underestimating. They're just saying he's only a banger. He's not just a banger. He can box. Just because he's not got the resume that Haney has does not mean he's not as good a boxer. He's just not been able to show it yet because he's not had the ops. This is his chance to shine in Riyadh Saturday night on the Night of Champions card. I fancy Brian Norman Jr. to get in there and do the business. I really do. TKO round 7 is my final pick on that one. Shall we move on then, Mesa, to the super flyweights? We've got Jesse Bam Rodriguez against Fernando Puma Martinez. This is a fight that seems to have been a bit forgotten about, would you say?
Yeah, a bit of needle at the press conference. Puma's right up for this. I don't know if he's blown a gasket at the press conference, but the weigh-in obviously coming tomorrow for all of them. A few more clues as to the physiology of him tomorrow, whether he's looking drained or anything like that. Same with Bam. Then I'll sort of you can sort of pretty much nail on a prediction, but Puma is he's not going to be as easy to hit as his previous opponents, Bam, and I think he's going to frustrate Bam to a high degree. And I don't think we'll see the best of Bam. He's on foreign ground. Nobody's got any support of any kind, so it's going to be a foreign atmosphere. No one to G them up, and this is the same thing that goes with Devin Haney. Same thing that goes with David Benavidez. There's no home support for you guys. So don't expect the crowds to be, going mad for you, trying to give you inspiration. It's not going to work. You're there on your own tool bag. And that's what separates the champions. I know Devin Haney went to Australia twice, but I tell you what, Maxie Hughes went there and beat him. So that's no great feat in itself. Even he got robbed. Just to save face for Cambosa so he can come back and get another title shot. So I'll go back to that. But, Bam Rodriguez, Puma, I love this fight. It's going to be an absolute banger. I think it goes the distance, mind. As I said before, I think Puma's a little bit too elusive to walk into Bam's combinations. And he's going to tag Bam as well. So, It's going to be a very interesting fight. I do like it, but I think it's going to be a UD win for Bam over 12 rounds.
Yeah, that's a fair call, matey. Yeah, we know how good Bam is. We've talked about him so much. He's still only 23 years old as well. What a career so far already for Bam. And this is for the WBA, WBO, WBC, and Ring magazine super flyweight titles, so the unified titles. At 23 years old, for him to be even doing this, it just shows the class of the young man, And he's against 34-year-old Puma Martinez, Pumita, as he's known, the Argentinian. His best win's probably against Kazuki Ayako. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Ioka. I think that's the way. Ioka. He beat him twice in 2 good fights. He had a little bit of trouble in one of them, some people say. He beat that Jade Banier, who was unbeaten as well by TKO. Other than that, again, his resume is not that thick, but that doesn't mean anything. It might just mean he's not had to step up yet. This could be
he can only beat what's put in front of him until he meets a guy like Bam. So he could well surprise a lot of people yet.
Yeah, to be honest, when this was first announced, it was my little snidey pick that he might pull the upset. But I've kind of changed my tune on it a bit now, watching a little bit more footage of him. He is very, very good, but Bam is also very exceptional at what he does. So in the end, I changed my tune again, just like I did with the Benavidez from stopping Yarde to go into the UD. On this one, I've gone from Puma maybe pulling off a UD or a split decision even, and I've gone for Bam TKO round 9. I've gone for the safe bet. Yeah, someone agrees with me as well. I think it's Hawkan, yeah. Jesse Bam Rodriguez wins TKO round 9. Thank you, Hawkan. You compounded my point there, brother. Anything else you want to add on that super flyweight title fight, Neutral? Before we move on to the last fight of the card?
Absolutely great fight. I believe that'll be first up, actually, that fight. Is that right?
I think Sam Noakes, Abdullah Mason might be first. I'm not sure, right. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I think 11.05, I think it's Noakes against Mason. 12.05 Bam. 1.05 for Haney Norman. 2.05 for Benavidez Yarde. So they're going to be an hour between each fight. So they're going to be putting on a bit of show, probably a bit of music. You know what Riyadh are like. They like to put a performance on, don't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, this one is Sam Noakes against Abdullah Mason. This is for the vacant WBO lightweight title. So a very, very good fight. Oh, Lee Mack's joined us. Big up Lee Mack, mate. He said Bam round 5. Nice, brother, nice. To be honest, it could happen, but Puma's a bit wily. If he's going to go, I think he'll go late. But you never know. He could go in the 2nd or 3rd round. Boxing is boxing, mates. 2 men, pugilistic. That's what we do. So we got Sam Noakes, 17-0 against Abdullah Mason, 19-0 with 17 knockouts. Sam Noakes has got the 15 knockouts. We've got 2 bangers here, in essence. You got Abdullah Mason, who was in that absolute barnstormer with Johan Vasquez, where he was dropped twice himself, went on to win. That's one of the fights of the decade for me. I absolutely love that fight. I've watched it probably 20 times. Pure fire entertainment, you know what I mean? That's what boxing's all about, isn't it? Gets you out your seat, gets you screaming at your TV. I've got to go and watch Abdullah Mason at some point. So I believe he's going to win this fight myself. I think he's going to stop him in the 5th. It could even be earlier, in my opinion. But if he does win, I've got to at some point get over to America to watch Abdullah, or get him over here to fight. That's what we need. We need Abdullah in the UK. Who can challenge him in the UK? Get him over here so it don't cost me as much. Mr. Neutral, what's your thoughts on this one, mate? Cracking fight between two unbeaten young guys at the peak of their careers.
Look, I get the hype with this Abdullah Mason, but you know, he could fight a million Vasquez's. He'll never come up. That doesn't come up anywhere close to Sam Noakes' resume. He's been dropped in 2 fights running. Once in the first round, twice, and once in the 3rd round. Sloppy. He's 21. He's over anxious to get knockouts, fill this resume up of his. I do not believe that the caliber of opponents that he has fought is at the level of Sam Noakes' opponents. Sam Noakes has been championship rounds on numerous occasions. 15 knockouts from 17. I know Abdullah Mason's got a great knockout. He looks good doing it, but he's knocking out tomato cans. Absolute tomato cans. And if a tomato can knock him down twice, Sam Noakes is going to put him to sleep doing that. So, having said that, I think the powers that control young Abdullah will ask him to box this fight. Because if he thinks he's taking on a bum in Sam Noakes that he thinks he can knock out within the first 6 rounds, he's sadly mistaken. That's not going to happen. Unless it's a lucky part and Sam is sloppy. But this is Sam's big moment. And he's going to have fans there, Sam. So I think,
in Riyadh.
Yeah, I think Sam's going to rise to the occasion. I think he's going to weather the storm, albeit from young Abdullah Mason. He's going to take control in the mid-rounds. And I think he's going to start to impose and dominate, and the young man's body's going to get tested, if not his chin. And I think he'll succumb by round 9. That's just my opinion.
That's fair, mate. It's fair. Noakes is good, man. Look at the people he's beat. Luis Silvestre, Van Mendy. These are tough competitors. You know what I mean? At a good level. They beat Ryan Walsh as well, let's not forget, who's another very good operator on his day. Abdullah Mason, as you said, his resume is a bit thin, isn't? He's done Johan Vasquez, that was talked about, Manuel Jaimes, and the last one was Jeremy Nakafilia, wasn't it? So they're hardly world beaters, but he is only, as you said, 21. So give him credit for stepping up for this fight.
He looked a bit shook at the press conference as well. He looked a bit overawed.
Yeah, it's his biggest occasion, isn't it? This is the biggest show he's been on by far.
Yeah, I think the nerves are going to get him.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility, mate. Well, let's just hope it's an absolute barnstormer of a fight. There's some good fights on the undercard, but we're not going to bother with them at the moment. We wanted to keep this nice and short, 20-minute job, you know what I mean? So thank you to everyone for tuning in. Unless you've got anything else to add on this, Mr. Neutral, on this fight?
No, but I wish them all the very best of luck, and, if we're wrong, we're wrong, but if we're right, we're right. It's just one of them days we got lucky. But, sometimes you feel like it's very strongly about your convictions of a fight. This is no different. I've had the pleasure of speaking to Brian Norman Sr. and Jr. on a couple of occasions. I've seen firsthand what that young guy is showing now, 2 years later. And I've always said, this guy's got the full package. He's an out of the ring entertainer. He's a likable character. He doesn't say anything mad. He's quite funny, and he's got the pedigree to back it up. like Devin Haney, he started his career in Mexico in his first 14 fights, and he's done that hard ring experience along with Devin Haney. Both have got very similar, points in their resumes, although Devin Haney was elevated far more quickly with his connections to get to the WBC. However, as again, all these factors mean nothing until you get into that ring tomorrow night, Saturday night. Haney's going to be 147 or roundabouts, plus his rehydration. I expect Brian Norman Jr. to come in heavier. I'm hearing that David Benavidez is struggling to make weight. So tomorrow's going to be a big day for him. If he misses weight, then he's lost his title. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but that's the word on the grapevine.
But at least Yarde will still be able to win it, though, wouldn't he? So that's the one saving grace.
Yarde will still be able to win it, yeah. But, Benavidez has lost it for good there. Which was, if Benavidez was to miss weight tomorrow, that would be the biggest kick in the face to boxing and Dimitri Bivol ever. Being stripped the way he was, and for Benavidez to treat that with contempt and not even be disciplined to make weight, it would be a ridiculous scenario. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Anthony Yarde has got a great chance. As I said, I think he's going to win by knockout. There could be numerous stages where that can happen, even when he's under pressure from Benavidez. Benavidez shown that, he's vulnerable. He got knocked down twice by David Morrell, and he's a 168-pounder. And as I said before, Yarde hits a lot harder. I asked Dimitar Betabiev,
rocked him.
So Dimitar, what did I say? Artur Betabiev. I was thinking of the footballer there. So Betabiev, the hardest puncher in the world, probably. At 175. Yarde's nothing like that. So I don't know why we're saying this knockout talk. He's knocked out super middleweights. As I said to you before, what fighter on David Benavidez's resume would survive with Anthony Yarde? If anybody could put a name down and debate me on it,
way around, but he won't beat him.
Not a chance. So all this thing that David Benavidez is going to come in and is going to stop Anthony Yarde. For me, he couldn't stop David Morrell. He couldn't stop Gvozdyk. So he's not stopping Anthony Yarde. Sorry.
That
Guess again.
Was trash as well, weren't it? That
Guess
fight.
Again.
We had the brutality of doing the watch along for that neutral, didn't we? Back on Boxing Media Hub days, we done the watch along.
God, me fucking stupid that.
Ugh, it was terrible, mate. Put us to sleep, didn't it? Absolutely awful. Well, that wraps up this card then. So that's the Night of Champions preview done here on Red Corner Boxing. Thank you everyone for tuning in, everyone who commented. Just one last comment. 99 Maddox said Yarde's going to get cracked. We'll see about that, brother. We shall see. Yarde's tough, man. Yarde's tough. You've seen that. Only Kovalev and Beterbiev and Lyndon Arthur have beat him. We'll find out on Saturday. And we'll be back on Sunday, I'm sure, with a review show. So you can tell us where we're wrong and where we're right.
British champions. Saturday night. Two more British champions. That takes us to 5.
It'll knacker up my prediction league week, but I'll take it for 2 more British champions, mate. I stand on that right now.
Don't worry about them overrated Americans. Overrated. Overhyped. They're going to be proven Saturday night. Come on, let's go.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Well, thanks again, everyone, for tuning in here on Red Corner Boxing. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe. You've been with Jam and Mr. Neutral. Just before we go, we are proudly sponsored by Easy Storage, and our official apparel suppliers are the Boxing Fight Zone. Check them out at your leisure. And from us, guys, we'll see you very soon. Tomorrow for the Eubank Watch Along. God bless.
I'm moving. I'm going. Yeah.